to regain contact with the spiritual worlds. All that remains to be done is the reawakening of the pituitary and the pineal glands. That is what humanity has to do, to reawaken those glands. And we show a picture of the pituitary and the pineal. In most people, or ordinary people, these sense centers are inactive. They are not active at all in most people. But true development will set them spinning in clockwise direction. And that is where the difficulty is in positive spiritual development, which the exercises seek to do. There are many spiritual exercises. They are all aimed at sensitizing the spiritual faculties. And here are examples: prayer, fasting, visualization, breathing exercises, yoga, energy transfer or energy therapy, space gazing, crystal gazing, pocket shrines, pendulum board dowsing, Ouija board, and planchette operation. These are all exercises or practices that are carried on spiritually. But there are dangers associated with some of them. If not, spiritual exercises are definite and conscious activities that are performed on a regular basis by the individual who seeks spiritual development. They are carried out voluntarily based on choice, not under any compulsion. Why spiritual exercises? Just as we feed the physical body with nutrients so that the cells do not starve to our detriment, the spiritual exercises are definite steps to awaken dormant spiritual faculties and set them in motion. It is the spiritual exercises that will support the individual to explore his or her spiritual nature and provide the enablement for knowing oneself better. By the exercises, the spiritual faculties are fed with the spiritual food so that they can be activated and function. Until these spiritual faculties are awakened and active, we are spiritually dead. What is the importance of the spiritual exercises? It is to voluntarily support the natural process of spiritual development, which is ongoing in everybody, whether the person knows it or not. It is a natural process that we all develop spiritually. So it is taking place in everybody, whether you know it or you don't know it, it is taking place. The exercises enable the individual to consciously increase his or her vibration to a higher level. That is what is differentiating the spiritual exercises from the ordinary one. The exercises support the acquisition of first-hand information about the superphysical realm. They provide the opportunity to consciously have access and become familiar with the supernatural realm, which we enter unconsciously during sleep, but eventually go after death. It is the same spiritual world we go when we sleep, but we are unconscious. These exercises definitely and consciously take you there. They make it possible for the individual to spiritually develop faster and be ready for the next phase in the spiral evolution of humanity. They help develop pioneers, leaders who set the standard, who help and show others how to also develop their spiritual faculties. So the exercises are very, very important. Let's look at this background information. We are taking you back a bit. In the journey of humanity, we are spirits clothed in flesh. Every human being is a spirit clothed in flesh. So in the journey through matter, as we are doing now, once upon a time, we were once spiritually active. when we got to the second and the third stages of the descent. We were then not conscious of our physical bodies or the physical environment, but spiritually, we were very conscious and active, doing things in the spiritual world, in the other realms. We could see and do things spiritually using the pituitary and the pineal glands that were connected to the autonomic nervous system, the involuntary one. So we were functioning spiritually, even though we were in this physical body. We had no will then, so we were like automatons. And once again, we bring you this diagram for you to see the second stage and the third stage which we are referring to. The second stage is in the desire world. The third stage is in the etheric region. We were there and we were functioning in the spiritual world, but without being conscious of the external body or environment. The sense centers, we had sense centers in the spiritual body that we were using. Those sense centers of the desired body were spinning around counterclockwise. So when we were coming down in the desired body, our sense centers were spinning. They were spinning but anti-clockwise direction. They were following negatively the motion of the Earth planet, which revolves on its axis in that direction. That is how the Earth planet revolves. This same counterclockwise movement of the sense centers is found with mediums or spirit controls. And we bring you a picture of it for you to see how the sense centers move. Over here in this diagram, you can clearly see that it moves in anti-clockwise direction. In most people or ordinary people, these sense centers are inactive. They are not active at all in most people. But true development will set them spinning in clockwise direction. And that is where the difficulty is in positive spiritual development, which the exercises seek to do to make these sense centers spin in a clockwise direction. Once again, we produce a picture of the inactive movement of the currents in the desired body of the ordinary person. And here we produce another picture of the voluntary movement of the currents of the desired body. This is the voluntary movement. The sense centers are revolving, they are spinning in a clockwise direction. This is where humanity is heading. Those who do well, not just anybody, those who do well. This is the direction. And we compare all the three for you to see that there are differences. The middle picture shows the ordinary person who has his or her current moving more or less in a haphazard manner. The one to the right is the involuntary one, which is moving anti-clockwise, whereas the one to the extreme left is the voluntary one, where we are heading. Humanity is now in the fourth stage of the journey. We have reached the fourth stage of this journey. During the third and the fourth movement of the spiritual impulse, in this fourth stage, the connection of the pituitary and the pineal glands with the cerebrospinal nervous system has been slowly building and is now more or less complete for every human being. To regain contact with the inner worlds, to regain contact with the spiritual worlds, all that remains to be done is the reawakening of the pituitary and the pineal glands. That is what humanity has to do, to reawaken those glands. And we show a picture of the pituitary and the pineal gland. And we give credit to National Cancer Institute, US. The pituitary and the pineal glands are deep in the brain. They are the organs that will have to be reawoken, and the forces that play in them will merge. When the pituitary and the pineal glands are reawakened, humanity will again possess the faculty of perception in the higher worlds, on a grander scale than formerly, because the connection will be with the voluntary nervous system. Now the connection will no longer be the involuntary, but the connection will be with the voluntary nervous system, and therefore under the will, under the control of the will. No more involuntary. Through this inner spiritual faculty, all avenues of knowledge will be opened, and humanity will have a means of acquiring knowledge which is higher than all the methods we have presently. In developing spiritually, there is a most important distinction to be made, and we want to stress it here. We really want to stress this, that there is a distinction that is to be made. The power which enables a person to see in the spiritual world is not identical with the power of entering that spiritual world and functioning over there. They are two separate things, though they are intertwined. Although the voluntary positively developed person is able to see in the spiritual world or the desire world and distinguish the true from the false, he or she cannot enter and function therein automatically. It is not automatic that once you can see the spiritual world, then automatically you can enter and function. No. Therefore, esoteric training does not only open up the individual's inner vision, but at the proper time, further exercises are given to furnish the individual with a vehicle to function in the inner worlds in a perfectly self-conscious manner. And that vehicle is the spiritual body or the soul body. And that is to be born again, as referred in John chapter 3. And we gave a full lecture on this in our lecture number 14. You may go back and read that. There are many spiritual exercises. They are all aimed at sensitizing the spiritual faculties. And here are examples: prayer, fasting, visualization, breathing exercises, yoga, energy transfer or energy therapy, space gazing, crystal gazing, pocket shrines, pendulum board dowsing, Ouija board, and planchette operation. These are all exercises or practices that are carried on spiritually. But there are dangers associated with some of them, if not all of them. Some of these exercises may be harmful to the practitioner if care is not taken. Why are we saying so? They may lead to a premature break at the points where the dense body and the spiritual bodies are connected. If you are not careful, you go into them just like that. That may lead to a break in the connection between the dense body and the spiritual vehicles. 2, they may force the spirit out of the body, resulting in death or insanity. 3, they can expose or make the body vulnerable to possession by external entities. So if you are into those practices, you need to be careful. The Western wisdom teachings gives 7 spiritual exercises which are 100% safe. And these exercises include retrospection, concentration, observation, discrimination, meditation, contemplation, and adoration. They are safe. Today, we will talk about 2 of the exercises: retrospection and concentration. What is retrospection?
Filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see. Whoa, it's taking over, damn, no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all this.